Hey, we're backstage at Ottawa Comiccon, and I have got next to me Mr. John de Lancie and Mr. Rene Auberjonois. I did well, right?
Good enough for government work.
You guys have both been part of many conventions all over the world. What do you find is a common theme when you're greeted by fans, and what do you find is a little bit different in places that you go? Like if you come to a place like Ottawa, what do you find is a little bit different than, say, you go to a place like Dallas? Do you see any differences?
Oh, he gives me.
It was a bit of a loaded question, but
Oh boy!
come on.
Go ahead. What difference do you?
What was the question?
Okay, I'll make the question. You're in Ottawa versus being in Dallas. What's the big difference?
The money is different. The currency is different.
Better food. Better food.
Where, up here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe that's true. Sorry, Dallas.
John, you at your booth, you have your pictures that you sign, but you also have some artwork that your son did.
Yeah, as a matter, I was going to add to one of the differences about Canada and the U.S. and
Right.
what have you. Canada is a sort of kinder, gentler place,
Right.
and I feel that when we are out in front of, I don't know, what were there, 1,000 people there today?
Yeah.
And so I appreciate that. And my son, who went to UBC and who is marrying a Canadian girl, feels that as well. I mean,
Right.
he's becoming a Canadian citizen.
Really?
Yeah, or a resident. Is that? Well, I don't know. I don't want to. I'm not sure what the exact legal term is, but whatever it is,
He's cozying up to Canada.
He's cozying up to Canada in more ways than one.
Right.
And yes, he Point Two Design is a company that he and Emily have created, which are these really wonderful design kind of design-oriented maps of cities, all in Canada and the United States, actually all around the world.
I want to talk to you briefly about your character on Breaking Bad. I've heard through the grapevine and from a couple of people that spoke to you today that was a very, very hard character to play. Do you get a lot of people reacting to that character at these shows?
The thing that's interesting about what we do is that sometimes we speak to an audience that we don't usually get to speak to. And I've had 20-year-olds at conventions like this come up to me and, really, well, hey, tat it up.
Yeah.
I got one too. So, but who look like they've gone through some tough times.
Right.
Who will look at me very furtively and go, and this happened 2 or 3 times. Look at me very furtively, kind of guy like this, and go, hey man, you played Jane's father, right? I go, yeah. Wow, now I know what my parents went through.
Yeah.
And you go, oh wow. We're really in the belly of the beast now. This is really what storytelling and what an actor would hope to be able to. And that meant that this person could understand empathetically something that he could not have understood. Who knows before he saw that.
I know you do a lot of voice work. How do you like working behind the mic versus behind the camera?
At this point in my life, I prefer it.
Okay.
I do a lot of not only cartoon voices, but I do a lot of reading of stories for selected shorts.
You do a lot.
And I do, part of it is laziness in the sense that I don't have to memorize lines, and it's not even a question of, I beg your pardon, that was the taco at lunch. I realize now that whether he was thinking that through that way, what he was doing was he was relieving himself of the place you have to go in the craft part of your mind that has to be recalling words. Even if you know your lines cold, there is still a point where you are required to deliver the words.
Right.
And by relieving yourself of that, you were able to get right in very quickly
yeah.
into a character. And that's why a long-winded answer for a question about, I'm truthfully preferring to tell stories that I don't have to memorize the lines for.
In Ottawa, for the 50th anniversary of Star Trek, I've got two of the most popular characters from the Star Trek canon with me, and they'll be here all weekend long at Ottawa Comiccon. Come pay them a visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You better.